we're going to go into the, sort of the move-in process here. And if you have questions, please write them down and we'll address them at the end after we go through our 4 stages here. But Mark, I was going to go right to you about the marshalling yard, but I think we all sort of got a bit on that. So so I'll move over to Mike. It's early, but you know, exhibitor service location, everything like that, that's going to be where you all go to meet with Freeman and get everything you need, or if you have questions. So do you know where that will be located yet, or?
Yeah, I think as of right now, our plan is out in the lobby area outside of Hall C, kind of in between the arena and the hall. You know, a good problem to have is pretty much the entire show floor space is sold. So that doesn't give us a whole lot of room to set up our desk, which is, like I said, a good problem to have. So we'll most likely, if that changes, we'll let you know. But this is where we're looking to have the desk at. And just as far as on site, anybody that has a Freeman shirt, Freeman badge, anything like that, feel free to stop and ask questions. You don't necessarily have to always walk all the way back to the service desk. We could, you know, anybody can answer questions, and if they don't have the answer, they'll get somebody that will be able to help you out. But that's where you go to kind of place your orders. As Mark talked about, if you have large machinery, and as far as the loadout, that's where you're going to want to place your labor orders. If, you know, a piece of furniture, you know, you decide you need to add a couple chairs, things like that, that's where you'll want to head to place any orders or ask any questions.
Great. And just so you notice on this, if we go south here, that's where the halls are, right down here. So you'd be going up to the service desk. So I didn't know if that was as clear as it could.
And we'll be doing tours at the very end. If you would like to walk along, we can walk through B and C and A hall at the end of today's workshop. Great.
Thank you. And so over to you, Mark. Just POVs, you know, private-owned vehicles getting to the loading dock and everything. Is there something special about that? Because I know our 10x10s and stuff may be using that.
Privately owned vehicles such as the SUVs, cars, that type of thing, will also pull into the parking lot out there where I was talking about earlier, where we have the marshalling yard, only because we have limited space up in the docks and getting them over there, so we have to kind of corral everyone there first and figure out how much space we have and how many we can send up or how many we can fit. So you'll kind of check in there, you'll be put a placard in your window letting us know that you're a privately owned vehicle that's unloading and for unloading services, and come up to, you would then be directed to either dock, whether it be the north or south, that you're going to go to unload the vehicle. Once we get you up there, then we'll help you out. We have electric flat carts, we have pallet jacks, forklifts, whatever we need to assist you in unloading.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you. And Chris, over to you, just about height restrictions, because we know some machines are pretty tall.
Yeah, and when I mentioned the display guidelines before, that was for display. Machinery is exempt from those guidelines. So if you have a piece of machinery, it doesn't have to adhere to the guidelines. If it's over 16 feet high, you can bring that machine in. The main thing is we ask and we highly recommend that 60% of your booth, no more than 60% of your booth is machinery, and that's just to allow people to come inside your booth. So you want to make sure all the conversations are happening within your booth and not in the aisle. So we ask it's less than 60% of your booth be machinery, but they are exempt. And like I said, during the move-in, make sure that there's someone there to place them in and around the booth. And also not to place them on any type of riser or pallet. They do have to be positioned on the ground floor.
Okay, great. And then also to you again, during move-in, you know, we take the show floor very seriously. You know, we don't want people coming in and out. How does someone get a badge or whatever to come in? So
during the move-in, when Mike said it starts on Thursday, there will be security officers handing out these wristbands. So during the move-in stages, once Monday comes around after the weekend, registration will be open downstairs. We'll have 2 different location areas for registration. Once they open up, then we ask that all exhibitors and their staff get badged at the registration. So that's starting on Monday, and that will go throughout the course of the show. Another piece of the machinery inside the booth, we do ask you to be about a foot off of the aisle. And also anything that may maneuver, which is a heavy machinery show, just make sure nothing's swinging into the aisle or any levers.
So let's go levers.
We'll go
I
both
like
of them.
levers.
Swing into the aisle, so make sure they're all within your booth space.
Great. Thank you. And then during move-in, Jeanette, is there going to be any concessions, food available?
For move-in, there will not be. It's usually just for registration days. We have concessions open. For move-in days, you are allowed to bring in food to your booth, and that's about the only day that we allow outside food and beverage because we don't have anything open on those days. But once show has kicked off, we don't allow any outside food and beverage to be brought in the facility.
Okay, great. Is there any room for food trucks back there, or is that going to block things up?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Okay,
any
all right.
food trucks have to be contracted through us.
Understood. Understood, okay.
And they have several restaurants right across the street that exhibitors go off to. And that's another example, if you wanted to order lunch on the property, you could order through Premier during the move-in days.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Ooh,
yes.
what are you bringing?
We ask that for food safety reasons, we can't offer a microwave or anything like that, but absolutely, you can bring in your own food.
As long as you bring enough for everyone.
Yeah.
No.
Just no, boxes of pizza or, donuts, things like that.